what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another review. Today is Friday, May 18th, and Deadpool 2 was just released last night, and I'm getting ready to go see it this morning at 10:30. It's about 8:50 right now, and I got about an hour before the movie starts. But today, I want to go ahead and review this Marvel Legend Cable action figure. But I'm super stoked to go and see the new Deadpool 2 movie. I won a ticket from the cereal boxes from Fandango.com. So I entered to win last night, and I got my ticket for this morning at 10:30. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you guys haven't seen the movie already, go ahead and pause it after I do the review, because I want to do a Deadpool 2 spoiler review. But I'm super stoked to open this Cable. He is one of my favorite X-Men. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. He's actually been my number one for a very long time, pretty much since I was a kid and found out who the character was. I mean, just the fact that he's Scott Summer and Jean Grey's son from the future, that's just an incredible storyline right there. So this character is really badass. I'm really stoked to see how Josh Brolin portrays him in the new Deadpool movie. Right now, I have not seen it. I'm super stoked to go watch it. Everybody's been saying it's good. I have been seeing mixed reviews that it wasn't as good as the first one, and then I have been seeing that it was better than the first one. So if you're interested in my opinion, go ahead and stay tuned, and I'm gonna go check it out, crack this Cable open, and then we'll talk about Cable and we'll talk about the movie. Alright guys, and here is Cable out of the packaging, and I'm very stoked about having this figure. Hasbro finally gave us our 90s cartoon comic book accurate Cable. This is a very cool figure. I do have a couple of gripes with it, but I am very happy with this figure. I did just catch Deadpool 2 yesterday. I was going to do a review right when I got out of the theaters, but some stuff came up and I wasn't able to, so today is Sunday morning. I really enjoyed the movie. If you haven't already, this is going to be a spoiler-free beginning review, and then I'm going to go ahead and dive into the movie a little later. But the movie was great. I went into it not expecting a whole lot. The movie kind of blew me away. It had a serious sense to it. The underlying theme was, pretty serious. Deadpool was trying to accomplish a goal and kind of find meaning. And the antagonist being Cable, and the way the story worked, I really liked. I really enjoyed the story. As far as the CG went and all the battles and everything like that, they were phenomenal. The comedy was great. I found myself laughing a lot. At a lot of the times, I found myself laughing at the comic book jokes and being the only person in the theater laughing at it. So I personally really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the little punchlines that they put in there. It was a great movie. If you haven't seen it already, I highly recommend seeing this movie in theaters, because when it comes out on DVD, everybody's going to be talking about it. It was a great movie. But let's go ahead and dive into the Cable action figure, and let's dive into the review. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, please go ahead and pause it, watch the movie, and then come back and check out this review. Alright, now taking a closer look at Cable, like I said, I really do like this Legend. I'm very happy with this figure. Cable is my very favorite character in the Marvel Universe, so I was very excited to see him in the Deadpool 2 movie, and I thought they did a killer job with him. Right now I'm going to talk about Cable, and then I'll talk about Deadpool and how, the story went. So in Deadpool 2, his story was that... what's his name? Fire Fist, which was the villain in the future, couldn't get to Cable, so he found out where Cable lived and killed his wife and daughter. And that's when Cable went home and found them dead and picked up the teddy bear and used his computer to time travel to the past so that he could kill Fire Fist. And as he's looking for him, it's pretty cool. I love the scene where they show him in the hotel room, and he's just like making the gun and shit, and you can see the techno virus all over his chest and going up to his neck and stuff. It looked really good. It looked really, really good in the movie. And I love the scene where he teleports to the present time, and then he walks up to those rednecks and he just like knocks them out real quick. And whatever, and they were talking about something. They were talking about wiping their asses with toilet papers or baby wipes or something like that. That shit was hilarious. Then he just shows up and knocks both of them out. So he goes to that hotel and he's trying on. He's putting together his weapon shit. That's really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of this hand. I really wish they gave us alternate hands. I am probably going to swap this hand out for something. Maybe give him the, actually, maybe I'll give him the cable arms from the Juggernaut wave. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, once he gets his gun together, he goes to the prison to try and kill Fire Fist, and that's where Deadpool and Fire Fist are. Then he runs into Deadpool, and he's like, who the hell are you? Because in that future, Deadpool was dead. Because something happened, and I guess what was happening in the prison, Deadpool died from that. And Fire Fist became a fucking villain and grew up to be an asshole. So I guess that's Cable's future. But at the end of the movie, I feel like Cable looked into the future and saw Apocalypse. And I feel like he saw that he needed Deadpool. So that's why he decided to stay, so that he could try to fix the future and stuff like that. Because, I mean, he still exists, and it'd be really interesting to see if in the third movie, if they do Cable again, it would be really interesting to see if they even talk about Cyclops and Jean being his parents. That would be really awesome. And it was really awesome for them to talk about Hope in the movie. He said it at the very end of the movie, I have a daughter, and her name is Hope. So that's really cool. And it would be really interesting to see if it's like the comic book version where he came to the past, got Hope, and went to the future and fell in love with a woman. It like wasn't... He got married... In the comic books, he married a woman when he went to the future with Hope, and they lived together for a couple of years before she died. And that was a small family, and then that was Hope's mother for a small time, and then she died, and Cable and Hope had to try to get back to the present time. But that was in the comics, so that would be really cool to see if they do that in the movie. But like I'm saying, I'm really happy with the way they portrayed Cable in the movies. Yeah, I'm super happy with it. I'm super happy with this figure. I like the eye effect, but I do wish it came out. It does not come out. I like the entire head. It looks good. This piece looks good. I kind of don't like this thing. I kind of want to take it off. I probably am going to take this off. A couple people have done it already. He looks pretty cool without it. And I don't like that this gun is so big and this hand can't even hold it. I have reviewed this figure already. I was probably the first person to review this figure, but I am really happy with it. It's the nuke body. They did a great job with the head cast. All the armor and weapons he has are freaking awesome. Alright, so Deadpool 2 was a great movie. I personally went into this movie not expecting a whole lot from it because I had read that early reviews of the movie weren't so great. I think people were saying that the story wasn't so good or something like that. But I went into this movie not expecting a whole lot from it, and I walked out impressed. I freaking loved the movie. Honestly, I don't think you could compare Deadpool to Infinity War, because Infinity War is the MCU universe. You know what I mean? Like, it took 10, 11, 12 years for that movie to be made. Deadpool, this is the second movie. You know what I mean? Like, they just jumped ahead and assumed you know some of this information. So I don't think you could compare the two of them. But Deadpool was a very, very good comic movie because you have to know a little bit about the X-Men and a little bit about Deadpool at all to understand what he was talking about, and they did a killer job of it. I love the beginning of the movie where he's going around killing all the gangsters, and then he comes home to his girlfriend, and they're finally going to be happy and stuff like that. They're just chilling, and he's about to make a bowl of cereal or something, and then he hears people coming, and he knows it's his fault. And so if you haven't seen the movie already, sorry, but spoilers, they kill his wife, and I love that scene because he is deadly serious. I love that they brought a serious aspect to Deadpool. Like, he was no games. It was all serious business for him. And it showed how fast he was, because he actually caught his wife before she even had like fell down from the bullet. You know what I mean? Like, he's super fast. And then, so that really sucked, but that was great storytelling, because that gave him a good motivation later in the movie. So I loved when he jumped out and caught the bad guy, then he just like hugged him and turned around and got hit by the truck. That was pretty cool. So after that, I love when he goes back to the blind chick's house and takes the cocaine and just puts it in his mouth and then just bam, punches himself in the face. That was freaking awesome. And then he goes home and blows himself up and meets his girlfriend in hell or heaven, whatever it may be. And I love the fact that the undertone of the entire movie was for him to like find children and start anew. Because that's one thing in the comic books that Deadpool's always been about. Like, anytime it was about children being tortured or mutants being tortured, he became deadly serious, no jokes, like, I'm gonna slaughter these assholes. There is a comic where he recruits Captain America and Wolverine and goes to North Korea to save some mutants because they were being tortured, and he was like deadly serious about it. Like, even Wolverine and Captain America couldn't believe how serious he was about the matter. So I love the fact that they brought that into the movie. I love the fact that his wife gave him the ability to even see that he needs to find a new life. And then, you know, he goes to the X-Mansion with Colossus, and that was actually one of my favorite scenes, where he's talking about the X-Men, where are the X-Men, this and that, and then the actual cast from the X-Men movie were right there as he turned around, and Beast just turns around and closes the door real quick. That was freaking awesome. And then I love when he meets Yukio and I can't remember her name right now, the other mutant, and they're lesbians, and he's just like, oh, hi, Yukio. I loved that stuff. And then they go to rescue the boy, who actually turns out to be Fire Hands, who's the guy who kills Cable's wife and child in the future. So Deadpool finds him and tries to save him, and ends up going to prison with the child because the kid tells him that the people there are abusing him. So he kills like one or two of the people there, and then the police get him and put the collar on him. And that's actually how Deadpool died in Cable's future. So that's why when Cable came back, he was like, who the hell are you? Because he had no idea who he was. Like, he knew who Juggernaut was because Juggernaut survived everything, but I guess Deadpool died in prison. But with Cable coming to the present, that changed everything, and Deadpool lived. So I liked that. That changed everything. I love the battle between Deadpool and Cable. That shit was just hilarious. And Cable was a badass. And that gun was badass when he was in there shooting everything up. And I loved the telekinesis Cable was using when Deadpool got the gun and he snatched it back from him. That was freaking badass. But after that, what happened? He goes back to the bar, and then he creates the X-Force, and that was comedy when everybody showed up. I loved Domino. I think they did a great job with Domino. I loved when she first showed up, and she's like, "Luck is my power," and her and Deadpool kind of got into it, and she ended up on the team. And then so everybody jumps from the plane, and I thought that was ridiculous that everybody freaking died. Shatterstar was hilarious, the fact that he was so cocky, and then he didn't know what he was doing and just died right away. And then Terry Crews, I don't know what character he was supposed to be, but he died right away. And then the acid spitting guy got caught in the tree thing, and then the normal dude lands. He's like, woo, that was crazy, and tries to save him, and then the dude fucking throws up acid on him and kills him. And the only person who landed okay was freaking Domino. Of course, because her power is luck. And then that whole chase scene was freaking awesome, and Cable shows up and they battle, and then... Anyways, the one thing that killed me in the movie at the end was when Deadpool was dying, and it was like 5-6 minutes of him dying and just saying goodbye and shit. It was driving me nuts. But anyways, I loved the movie. It was a great movie. That's really all I'm going to say right now. If you guys have anything to continue on, if you guys want to add to the conversation and start one, just leave some comments and we'll go ahead and dive into it. But alright guys, thank you guys for watching this review. Thank you guys for sticking around and listening to me rant on about the movie. Hope you guys liked my review of Cable. Hope you guys liked my thoughts of Deadpool 2. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.